Welcome back, it is Brad from Athletics and we are looking at a new tutorial today in regards to duotone, monotone, colours, simple design deals. So we've got our LeBron, he's all masked up, ready to go. We're going to start with a colour or a tone. Actually, let's start with a tone because I don't really understand. Oh, my opacity's down. There you go. Perfect. I'm just going to change the background to black. That way you can see what we're working on. And what I'm going to do is with my duotones, I like to utilize some shapes. Now I'm just going to use toning behind at the moment because I want to kind of show what gradient maps can do in a sense of changing and dictating tone in a piece. I might just make this middle toned one a bit darker. Is that even more? Maybe even darker. Oh, selection gets me every time. And then we're going to chuck one more darker box right here. Simple, fun. Alright, grab out your gradient map from the adjustments. At the moment we have a black and a white. We are going to look at this. Oh man, this is a great gradient pack that I just got. I'm really happy with it. So duotone is essentially just taking, or monotone essentially is taking all, which is, monotone's black and white. Duotone for me is about colors, but limiting to 2 colors. So essentially that is what we get to do. Now, these things in the gradient editor will dictate. When I move this color up, you'll see different tones take on that color, and so this is essentially dark to light spectrum. So if I wanted a white, if I wanted my whites to be white, you'll see that they'll become more white. So the further down on this spectrum, the different shades will take on different colors, and you'll start to see that you'll lose this box because this shade is allocated, or this color is allocated to darks all the way through the spectrum, and it'll keep going and it'll keep going, and that's pretty interesting. And then the tighter you get, the more it looks like an illustration. You're cutting out bits and pieces. So this is a really, really fun thing to do, is to play and figure out, because this is going to help you in the long term of understanding gradients, gradient maps, how things work, duotone. So I might, let's cancel, bring it back. Let's have a look at another color scheme. I love that. And you'll see, yeah, the lighter the color on the dark, the less depth you get. That's cool. So this is I guess a really simple way of learning, I guess, how to use a gradient map. And this is a conflict here. When you darken the top level, you'll get an invert kind of effect, which for me is most of the time pointless, because as much as the other stuff looks cool, the face loses all kind of distinguishable deals going on. So, and then the problem is if you have 2 colors, let's get 2 mid-range colors. Let's just use web colors for a second. We'll go on the spectrum, the blue, same deal. Because there's enough contrast and whatnot, you still get those facial deals, but you do lose a bit of the balance in. So the darker blue we go, the more natural things are going to go. The lighter this color, you're going to get a wider range of colors and shades through the deal. So I encourage everyone to learn the power of duotone and whatnot. So a bit of fun you could have is chucking, let's have a look, what have we got here? Yeah, that's fun. I'm gonna chuck this over the top. Cool, and I'm gonna hold down Option, create into a clipping mask so it just focuses there. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more depth to it with the levels, and yeah, that's cool. I might do a different pattern for, yeah, I like them. We might have to invert so that it's over the top. Don't like the invert. We'll just up the levels a little bit so you get a bit more darkness in that deal. Cool. Love it. I'm going to knock that one out. We're just going to add grey. Cool. Actually, I'm going to change this gradient map to something else just because I can't get. I love that. That's smooth. Yeah. Add a drop shadow. Create depth. Don't really like that. So I like the flatness. And let's just chuck another wild texture. What a name. Now we're starting to lose a bit of depth by adding these textures. So what we'll end up doing is changing the lightness. Love that. Changing the levels so that we're getting a bit more. I'm going to drop the opacity of this back one. Nice. And that's duotone. That's having a lot of fun working with just a minimal amount of colors, a minimal amount of deal, and yeah, that's a whole lot of fun. So check it out. Spend a bit of time working the gradient mat. Again, you can CC over the top of this, color lookup, add another dimension of you drop all the blues. You know, there is so much in here that you can work to get that perfect kind of look that you're going for. So have fun, learn some duotone, learn some monotone, go all black and white, see what you can produce, but it is about depth and colors. And so what I might do actually before we go, I might just add a quick, get off with the colors. So again, like I'm just creating the disconnect between these two elements so that there's, you know, so that there's some eye travel, so there's some depth to my piece. It just doesn't look like a 2D deal. There's a bit of contrast and a bit of fun going on. So that's that. Thanks so much. We'll catch you for the next one.